Hello, friends. This is Colleen Jennings-Rogensock, Executive Director of ASU Gammage and ASU Vice President for Cultural Affairs. Welcome and thank you for your support of ASU Gammage. As you can see, the theater is empty, but our hearts are full because we are truly lucky to have the best subscribers and donors in the country. I miss seeing all of you at ASU Gammage. I look forward to the day when we swing our doors wide open and welcome you back. In this video, we're going to cover some of the questions surrounding our Broadway season, the changes happening at our theater with new protocols in place, and draw back the curtain to help you understand some of the challenges we face in getting shows back on the road. The top priority at ASU Gammage is to keep everyone safe, and we're implementing quite a few changes and safety measures to ensure the safety of all of you, our artists, our crews, our staff, and our volunteers. We want to make sure that when we return, we do it as safely as possible. We have a video to show you about the changes being made at ASU Gammage.
As ASU Gammage prepares to reopen, nothing is more important than the health and safety of our patrons, staff, artists, and community. To ensure the safety of those who work at and visit ASU Gammage, we've implemented a number of changes to provide the best performing arts experience. Our venues have undergone enhanced cleaning and sanitation by our operations staff, and we observe all ASU COVID protocols. All common touch points such as door handles, railings, water fountains, restrooms, counters, and other areas are sanitized with increased frequency. Performance halls and large gathering areas are cleaned first and then sanitized using electrostatic technology, which allows disinfecting solutions to adhere to all surfaces. For your convenience, hand sanitizer dispensers are available throughout the buildings. To protect you, our staff, and volunteers, all ASU Gammage team members are required to wear face masks and receive temperature checks upon arriving for their shift. To help reduce the amount of physical contact at ASU Gammage, we have plexiglass barriers at the box office and wipe the counter after each customer transaction. You will also see changes to the ASU Gammage concessions area. All food and beverages will be contained in single-serving packaging. Indoor and outdoor seating will be available. Digital program books will also be available in advance of your theater experience. Information will be included in your Know Before You Go email. When you attend an event at ASU Gammage, compliance with local and national regulations regarding COVID-19 is expected. Masks are mandatory for all performances. As a reminder, please give yourself plenty of time to arrive and enter the theater, as entry and exit may take slightly longer than expected. Together, our efforts will help create a safe and enjoyable experience for all. For more information, visit asugammage.com.
As you can see, we have many changes, and these changes will come to evolve as we get closer to reopening. As soon as we're approved to open, we will clearly communicate what you can expect when you return to the theater. Behind the scenes, our shows depend upon the producer who provide the capitalizations, hire the creative team, and ensure the shows are produced. We thought it'd be helpful to hear directly from a producer about the challenge they face in getting their tours back on the road. Here to share some insights from the producer's perspective is my dear friend Sue Frost, the Tony Award-winning producer of Come From Away and Memphis. You all might even recognize her as the 2019 ASU Gammage Gammy recipient.
Hi, I'm Sue Frost, and I'm the producer of the musical Come From Away. I'm here to tell you a little bit about the challenges we producers are facing as we look toward bringing our shows back to the road. The most important thing for us right now is, of course, health and safety of our company and of the audience. to talk a little bit about the challenges we have keeping our company safe. My show, Come From Away, is a relatively small show, which means we travel with about 60 people. And that means we have to think about their safety as we move from city to city, whether we're on an airplane or whether we're on a bus. We have to think about moving in and out of hotels. What are those hotels like? Do they have safety protocols? Are they cleaned regularly? We're working with the unions who are very concerned about their members and making sure that when they come back, they're in a safe environment. And then when we're at the theater, we're backstage together, we're in dressing rooms together, we're interacting with your local crews. Some of our orchestras are interacting with local musicians in a crowded orchestra pit. How do we protect everyone? So all of those things are things that we think about and we're working on and trying to develop a plan so that when we do come back, we can stay back and we can keep everybody performing. Remounting our show is going to present its own set of challenges, but nothing like the challenges that a brand new show is going to face, because not only do they have to put a show up from scratch and cast it and rehearse it and costume it and build the scenery, all of that has to happen in a safe environment, in an environment where people are protected and where we know that the end result is going to be realized in a timely fashion. It's a lot to think about, but think about all of these tours as their own worlds, and they travel around from place to place with truckloads of scenery and costumes and props, and all of the actors and stage managers and company managers and band and crew, and all of those little pieces that have to go back together again. And we have to know that the scenery's running smoothly, the costumes still fit, and the lights and the sound equipment are still working. One of the reasons it's going to take us a while to come back is we need to come back to full houses. The experience of sharing a Broadway show between the actor and the audience is unique and special. And socially distanced audiences are not going to create anywhere near the same feeling that a house full of people laughing, crying, clapping does. It is also not possible for us to make this work financially. We need to know that we can accommodate all of the subscribers in the week that we're in town. We need to know that we can meet our financial model and what it takes for us to travel from town to town, what it takes for us to present the show. That financial model requires full houses. But mostly it is that relationship between our actors, between our performers and you, and the energy that you both feed off of creates that unique experience, which is a Broadway show. But we're going to get there. Don't you worry, we're going to get there.
Sue mentions that the show travels city to city. The cast and crew travel by bus or plane, and the sets, costumes, and props all travel in tractor trailers. Depending on the size of the show, a producer needs 30 to 40 weeks of 8 performances per week in order to break even on the cost to mount and tour the show. The entire industry has been working tirelessly to remount the 40 Broadway shows that tour the US and Canada in a typical year. Here to tell us more about how tours cross the country is Meredith Blair, president of the booking group.
Hi, my name is Meredith Blair. I'm the president of the booking group, and I represent the national tours of Hamilton, Dear Evan Hansen, Come From Away, Mean Girls, The Book of Mormon, To Kill a Mockingbird, and many others. And I'm here to talk to you about the process of booking a tour. So to start with the basics, in order to get a show from point A to point B, you have to determine the size of the show, which determines how quickly you can travel. One of our objectives is to open in a given city on a Tuesday and close on a Sunday. Needless to say, some markets are closer to each other than others. Shows travel anywhere from a 3 to a 4 truck show to 25 to 30 trucks. Those are the big blockbusters. Generally speaking, most touring shows travel in anywhere from 5 to 8 trucks. The challenges of routing a tour are the availability of the venues. So if I'm starting in Buffalo, the next logical thing would be to go to Rochester or to go to Cleveland, but The venue that I need to go to next may not be available because they've got another show then, or the symphony is in the venue then, or there's a graduation, or there's any number of things or other commitments that the venue may have that don't make it available. So one of the challenges now in the current climate in booking a contiguous tour is that we don't necessarily have any consistency in what states are open when. So if I'm trying to get a show across the country, I need to know that I can get from Ohio to Iowa, and that the states in between are open for business. But that's one of the many challenges that we're all trying to face in many different walks of life, not just in the theater business. The process has changed a little bit for us. No, it's changed a great deal for us over the past several months, having to deal with the shutdowns across the nation. So we are actively trying to put the pieces of the puzzle back together multiple times as the landscape keeps changing and as the timing keeps changing and as we continue, unfortunately, to live in a world where we don't have all the answers yet. So we're dealing with that reality, and we're booking and we're rebooking, and we will continue to rebook until we can get these shows back on the road and back to your cities. That's the goal.
Thank you, Meredith. I appreciate the insight you've provided on the challenges we are facing in the industry. We also desperately want to reopen, but it is so much more complex than what meets the eye. To wrap up, I'm going to answer some questions that we receive on a daily basis. Many of you have questions about the value of your ticket. Please be assured that the value of your ticket is safe. If a show is canceled, you'll have the option of a credit, donation, or a refund. If a show is rescheduled, you don't need to do anything. We'll keep holding your seat for you. One of the biggest questions we receive is about social distancing. As Sue Frost pointed out, we cannot open with social distancing in place. Broadway has always been a financially risky business, so every show really needs to have the opportunity to sell all of the seats for the financial model to work. Probably most important, though, is having the experience of interaction among audience members with each other, and between the audience and the actors on the stage. That energy isn't the same when you're spread out. I thank you all for taking the time to watch this. I cannot wait to welcome you back to ASU Gammage. The first show back will be such a celebration and a moment we will never forget. I cannot thank you enough for your flexibility and for your sticking with us. We cannot be ASU Gammage without you. And trust me, it will be worth the wait.